over there. I want everyone to remember.
I said, how many have you had this year? He says 1 or 2. He says that's about average for a year. He said he's a little bit of ahead of schedule, but I can remember playing in the past, and that happens. The worse your offensive line is, or the least protection. I got a lot of sacks when I was first coming up with the Dolphins when they had the expansion team. That's when you get more of them. And Fergie gets out of the pocket, he gets in trouble, he gets to get down, but he's all right today, and he's going to do well.
Buffalo won the toss. They'll be receiving. There is Joe Ferguson, number 12. And he will be, of course, moving the offense for the Buffalo Bills. Number 10 will be his backup if needed. Matt Cofer from San Diego State, who you saw in action on Monday. I thought he looked pretty good. I liked his throwing motion.
He's a very fine quarterback. His only problem is he hasn't gotten in there. He's going to have fun watching Marino because Marino is getting in and getting his experience. Kofler's will come down the road.
Uwe von Schaman, of course, will be kicking off for the Miami Dolphins. The two deep backs for the Buffalo Bills, Mike Mosley, number 88, and Rob Riddick, number 40. The sun is out. It is a gorgeous day in Miami, and we are set to go. Again, the temperature, very warm. It is 83 degrees and a little muggy.
I'll say.
Riddick, and he's going to run it out from 5 yards deep in the end zone. A fumble. Miami has the ball. Rodell Thomas. Was it Rodell Thomas?
Oh, it was Jensen. Jim Jensen, number 11. That hit him.
Jensen is a quarterback. Rodell Thomas is the man who recovered it. Let's take another look.
You didn't think I was going to tell you who recovered it when a quarterback goes down and knocks the ball out from a return man, especially as good as Riddick. There you see Jim Jensen, number 11, knocking the ball out. The ball comes loose. Big play for the Dolphins right off the bat.
Dan Marino, the quarterback. Nathan and Franklin, the running back. 17-yard line of Buffalo. Franklin to the 14. Gain of 3. Second down, 7. Chris Keating and Urban Parker with the tackle. Now let's look at that offensive set for the Dolphins. We talked about the young quarterback, Dan Marino, his first start, with Tony Nathan and Andre Franklin, the running backs. The receivers, Mark Duper, his first start. Matt Moore, Dan Johnson. Easter, Kuchenberg, Stevenson, Newman, and Laxo. Woody Pinnock comes in and an offensive change in the backfield. First pass, tipped, intercepted. Steve Freeman makes the interception. So an inauspicious start for Dan Marino, and Buffalo has the ball. We've traded turnovers, and we'll look at that interception from the end zone.
If you're playing in your first game as a rookie in the National Football League, it's not a bad place to start on the other teams inside their 20. This is a quick pass. He's trying to hit the flanker on a slant. One of the defensive linemen knocks it up in the air. Steve Freeman, a big play person for the Bills secondary, gets his hands under it, makes the catch. Just take another look, see who. I think it's Williams. Ben Williams gets his hands up. Freeman sees the ball, makes a big interception.
So Buffalo has the ball. Their first time on offense at their own 21-yard line, first down. Booker Moore. Maybe a yard. That's about all. We'll look at that Buffalo offense with Joe Ferguson at quarterback. The great Joe Cribbs and Booker Moore are the two running backs. There they are. And now let's look to the receivers, and they are good. Butler Lewis and the tight end Mark Bramer. A note on the tight end Tony Hunter, who is the number 2 tight end as we look at that offensive line, has a hamstring. We do not know whether or not Tony Hunter will be playing. Second and 9. Second back is Cribbs. 26, maybe the 27-yard line. Gain of 5, so it'll be third down and 4. Charles Bowser made the tackle. Defensively for the Dolphins, we'll see a basic 3-4. They've got a linebacker problem. We may see a lot of 4-3 when we're talking about Betters, Baumauer, and Bokemper. Linebackers, Rudzinski, Due, Mike Brown starting for Ernie Rohn and Charles Bowser. And there, of course, is a look at the secondary. And a problem there, Gerald Small may be replaced by Paul Langford, and Small is bothered by a hamstring. They're down 4. Terry Tuttle is in. 3 receivers for the Bills. Battle just coming off of the injured list this week. From the shotgun, here's Ferguson. Underneath the coverage, pass is complete to Jerry Butler. A fumble at the end of the play. It may have been blown dead. Running into the end zone of the Dolphins.
Blown dead, Charlie.
Was that Kozlowski?
Kozlowski picked it up.
But the play had been blown dead at the 29-yard line. It'll be 4th down and still a couple. And so Buffalo will be kicking. We'll take another look.
The Dolphins, Charlie, are showing Buffalo a little bit different as we look at Ferguson dropping back to pass. The receiver coming across the field hoping to pick up 4 yards. Alert Dolphin defense. The ball comes out. When he hits the ground, no fumble.
So Greg Cater will be kicking a 38.1-yard average. Mark Clayton is set for the return for Miami. Cater has not been kicking that well. Dolphins could have good field position. This one hangs up. Fair catch is called for and taken by one of the upbacks at the 37. That was Mike Kozlowski. So Miami takes over for the second time on their own 37-yard line. We have no score. We're in the first quarter. Just under 3 minutes gone.
Story on Jim Jensen, who caused the fumble on the kickoff last week against New Orleans. He got called twice for roughing the punter and gave New Orleans back the ball 1st down. How 1 week's difference makes a big change.
From goat to hero in 7 days. This is David Overstreet, who's in the backfield to the 43-yard line. From the 37 to the 43, a gain of 6, so it'll be 2nd down and 4. Eugene Meyer with the tackle. Let's look at that Buffalo Bills defense. A basic 3-4 with Ben Williams, Fred Smerlis, and Sherman White. Strong front 3 and good linebackers. Sanford, Keating, Marvin, Parker. And in the secondary, the return of Rod Cush. Missing 2 ball games with a knee injury. He's back at free safety. Score in Minnesota leading Chicago 7-0. Darren Nelson, a 56-yard touchdown run. Here is Dan Marino, the rookie quarterback, first start. Nathan and Bennett are the running backs. There is the score in the Minnesota-Chicago game. Marino throws, and this one is complete for a first down. To the 43-yard line of Buffalo. Tony Nathan on the receiving end. Nathan, number 22, is the leading rusher and leading receiver for the Dolphins.
Charlie, Dan Marino may be a rookie in the NFL, but he's had a lot of playing experience. University of Pittsburgh, started 4 years, threw a lot of football. Stays in the pocket, drills it, just a little quick hook by the halfback coming out of the backfield. Picks up a big first down. It's a good confidence builder for to complete your first pass on a sure play such as that.
First down, 43-yard line of Buffalo. Franklin to the 41-yard line. A gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Lucius Sanford is the man who brought him down. We have a report that Joe Cribbs has a bit of a neck injury, but should return to the ball game when Buffalo goes on offense.
Pinched nerve, Charlie. The same thing that knocked him out of the ball game last Monday night, and when he fumbled on the goal line coming out. I saw him go off the field when Buffalo was on the field. He replaced himself. We'll hope that he's back in the ball game soon. Those things have a way of going away, Charlie. If you just wait a while, the pinched nerve, if he doesn't get a hit again, he may be all right for the rest of the game.
Timeout, Miami.
And maybe a little miscue, a problem with the play coming in. We've got a timeout by the Miami Dolphins. This is one of the things that you have to put up with a rookie quarterback in his first start. No score, we'll be back.
Don't miss the Dog Super Show. Only on South Florida's Information and Sports Authority, WIOD.
We're back at the Orange Bowl. Miami has the ball on the Buffalo 41-yard line, 2nd down and 8. Just over 10 minutes left to go. First quarter, no score. And Tony Nathan is dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Eugene Marv, inside right linebacker. Good play.
One of the battles we'll be watching all day is Smerlis and Stevenson, center for the Dolphins. Kuchenberg pulling on a little trap. The 2 linebackers, Keating and Marv, filling the hole. As soon as they see the guard pull across Kuchenberg, they fill the hole, step up in there, and meet Nathan for no gain. That'll be one of the keys, 1st and 2nd down running for the Dolphins today.
3rd down 8, 6 men in the secondary for the Buffalo Bills. From the shotgun. Reno has pressure, scrambles, and he will be sacked. Ben Williams got him. Now, a note on Ben Williams. That is his 4th sack of the year. His previous 3 came against Miami in the opener.
It's a good play by Ben Williams, just good pressure. Marino has plenty of time to throw. The Dolphins offense protected him well enough. Williams coming up the middle from his defensive end spot. Marino sees nobody open, starts to scramble one way. They have good containment. That's one of the things they'll need to do because Marino can run outside the pocket.
And so Reggie Roby will be kicking, the rookie from Iowa. And watch this demonstration. Oh, he can really hang it up. Caught in the air.
That's a great play.
A fair catch at the 4-yard line. And
What
yes,
a play.
that is legal, a 46-yard kick, providing you have that situation. A fair catch was called, and the receiver stepped away. You were not bothering him at all.
Robert Sowell goes down, sees the punt returner step away from it. He's following it all the way, makes an over-the-shoulder catch, and a great play by Robert Sowell, the Miami Dolphins.
At the 4-yard line, we'll be back in a moment. And he knows that today's telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience, and the rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Miami Dolphins and the National Football League is prohibited. Buffalo now from their own 4-yard line. Cribbs is back in the ball game. He and Booker Moore, the 2 running backs. Cribbs, nowhere to go. He may lose a yard. Mike Charles and Bob Baumhauer on the tackle.
Charlie, you saw Joe Ferguson looking around, looking for his running back, Joe Cribbs. The Dolphins are in a 4-man line. This is something they have never done this year, and certainly not in the past. He is checking off to a running play. Joe Cribbs cannot hear at that end of the end zone, doesn't expect to check off. The blocking assignment is all mixed up. The reason they're going 4-man line is because they've had all the injuries at linebacker this year, and Ernie Roan is in the hospital, and his backup, Brown, is not in there. So they're going to 4-man line.
Second down, about 10 and a half, actually. A loss of a half a yard on the play. Here's Booker Moore with Cribbs, the lead block, around the corner, and goes rolling out of bounds at about the 9-yard line. So he'll pick up about 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Lyle Blackwood was there for the defense. Washington, St. Louis. John Riggins, 17 yards for the touchdown. It's Washington 7 and St. Louis nothing in the first period.
I think that guy has found a fountain of youth.
He has. We should buy a piece of the action.
Well,
speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself is right.
I'll take 80% of that fountain right now. 3rd down 5, passing situation. Lewis, Tuttle, and Butler are all in. Raymer the tight end. 3rd down 5. Ferguson to throw. 4-man rush. Fires. Incomplete. Frank Lewis intended receivers, a good pass. Maybe a little high, but catchable.
It was a good pattern. They sent Joe Cribbs deep. Frank Lewis started in and then back out. Just wanted to pick up 5 yards. Nothing deep, nothing fancy. In that end of the end zone, you want to throw something safe and just get me something that get me out of that end of the end zone and make some first downs.
Greg Cater will be kicking. And Mark Clayton is set for the return. He is inside the 50-yard line. Justin Cross doing the snapping for the Buffalo Bills. Pretty good kick. Hanging up. Takes it at the 48-yard line of Miami and loses yardage, slips tackles. Fights his way back almost to where he caught it. He'll lose a yard on the return. Joey Lumpkin was down for the Buffalo Bills very quickly. Hang time, good, 4.6 seconds for Greg Cater. We have no score as we look again at the return. 6:54 left to go. First quarter, we're in the Orange Bowl. Don Shula, a smile on his face and a song in his heart. He's a new grandfather.
Grandpa Shula, there you go, Grandpa. David Shula, his son. This morning, Leslie gave birth to a 6-pound baby boy.
Nice way to start a Sunday. Marino throws, pass is complete. 45-yard line of Buffalo. Gain of 8. So it'll be second down a couple. Dan Johnson on the receiving end. Lucia Sanford and Charles Roan making the tackle for Buffalo.
2nd and 3.
Now, offensively, Bob, you established it right at the top of the show. Not the strong points. Miami ranked 26th in the NFL. Buffalo ranked 27th.
Additionally to that, passing-wise, Buffalo is 26th in the league passing. The Dolphins are 28th. So both teams have relied on the running game so far.
Here's David Overstreet. Close to the first down. Believe it will be short. 3rd down and 1. Parker making the tackle. Now, let's go back just for a moment to Don Shula, the new grandfather. Have they decided what they're going to name the grandson?
I saw Don on the sideline just before the game, and Marino was around there too. And I've never seen Shula before a game beaming and smiling so much. I asked him if they had a name, and he said, yeah, they were thinking about Danny. And I looked over at Marino, and I said, don't get cocky, kid. They got a dog that's named Zonk.
I love it. 3rd down and 1. Roy Foster is in as a tight end, a blocking in. He's normally an offensive tackle, of course. Little play action. Going deep, but good coverage by the Buffalo Bills. 2 men sent out as receivers, Nat Moore and the tight end Dan Johnson, and both covered well. Flag down. You're smiling on that play.
That's a play that the Dolphins have run against Buffalo every year. One time they play each other twice a year, obviously, and they'll get that play in once in the 2 games. And I don't think they've hit it in 5 or 6 years. Buffalo, very aggressive short yardage team defensively, will send everybody up to try and stop the run, and the pass is there, but they have good corners that can cover it. There again, good coverage on the play.
Let me make a correction. There was not a flag thrown. There is an injured player down for the Buffalo Bills. So we have an injury timeout. He's at the left 23-yard line. It is Rod Cush. Now Cush, with a knee injury, missing 2 ball games and just coming back off of that knee injury, and they're working on the knee. Let's see if we can pick it up.
Take another look at Marino. Fakes the running play. Holds Marv Sanford coming in. Sets up. He's waiting for his flanker to get to the middle of the field. He's got one-on-one coverage. He just throws the ball too far. He had it, but not by much. I'll tell you one thing. Mario Clark has seen that play quite a few times in his career in the NFL.
Clark, the veteran, in his 8th year, a #1 draft choice back in '76, and here is bad news for the Bills as Rod Cush is being assisted off.
They certainly have gone through a string of free safeties.
Now let's go to New York. No, we're going to stay here. We're going to stay here. Hold the phone. As Reggie Roby will be kicking, Rod Cush very slowly working his way off of the field. Rob Riddick is back.
You know, last year, Charlie, they had Bill Simpson was their starter and played very well. Then Jeff Nixon was hurt. They brought in Tommy Myers. He's not there anymore. Walter Scheid was there. Now Cush is hurt. They've been through a few of them.
Fair catch is called for. Again, they let the ball drop. It is down at the 15-yard line. So Buffalo will take over their 15-yard line. So now let's go to New York, NFL 83 for an update.
Thank you, Charlie Jones.
Change. Interesting there, the rookie being benched. Here the quarterback change. They're starting the rookie. Buffalo now from their own 16-yard line, first down. We have no score. 5-14. Left to go in the first quarter. Bills have not had any offensive movement at all. And here it is. Frank Lewis, the veteran. 13 years in the NFL. 36 years of age. And he has the first down. Blackwood making the tackle at the 34-yard line.
It's a good call by Kay Stevenson, who sends in all the plays for Joe Ferguson, and good execution. First down, play action, fake the Cribs, holds Dewey. He's looking for Lewis in behind Dewey. There you see it right down the middle. Well, I'd say that makes me want to go back and play quarterback when they're that easy. Good play, good execution.
Gain of 18 yards. Now, Dewey will be moving around a lot, but he has to pick up the cadence of Ferguson before he can set his defensive moves. We'll be talking about that. First down, Buffalo at their own 34-yard line. And he goes right back to Lewis. Lewis has back-to-back first down. 45-yard line, gain of 11. So 18 and then 11, 2 first downs. Buffalo is on the move.
You know, Charlie, the Buffalo offense and the Miami defense. Miami's defense is #1 against the pass, but they're missing their 2 top corners from last year. Don McNeil is out for the year with the knee, with an Achilles tendon. Gerald Small is out of this game because of a tight hamstring, so he's throwing against the Miami defense without their 2 top cornerbacks in the ballgame.
You saw the head coach, Kay Stevenson. You also saw number 10, Matt Copeland, backup quarterback. Now he was giving some signal. He will be signaling in the plays from the sideline most of the time. First down, Buffalo. Ferguson to throw. Pass is complete to Cribb, their leading receiver. Good stop and start move and out of bounds. First down. 36-yard line. A gain of 19. 36-yard line of Miami. Lyle Blackwood finally wrestled him out of bounds.
We'll take a look. This is just a little halfback option. The halfback has the option to break to the inside or the out. He breaks outside on the linebacker, Brown, who's in there with a sore turf toe. Joe makes a good move, holds the cornerback, gets outside for a few extra yards. The top receiver, as you said, Charlie, and a big play man for the Buffalo Bills.
First down at the Miami 36-yard line. Deepest penetration for the Bills in the ball game. Just over 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Roosevelt Lee has a yard to the 35. It'll be second down and 9. Now let's go back to number 10, Matt Koeffler, backup quarterback for the Bills, signaling in on the sideline. And, you know, they'll have 2 or 3 motions going. Koeffler may be the live one. He may be with the fake. He was live a week ago. They looked over, and he was behind the bench taking some practice snaps. Ferguson had no idea. Called his own play.
Joe was looking for Koeffler, and he was back there getting ready to go in the ball game.
Second down and 9. 3 wide receivers in. Tuttle, Lewis, and Butler for the Bills. Cribb. And wrapped up immediately by Mike Kozlowski at the 29-yard line. A gain of 6. So it'll be third down and 3.
Charlie, Kozlowski's in there because of the situation at linebacker for the Miami Dolphins. We've talked about it. The Dolphins have gone through a lot of linebackers this year with the death of Larry Gordon. Ron Hester's gone down. Steve Schul. Larry Evans, a linebacker they got from Denver, is out. Ernie Rowan is out today, plus Brown. Mike Kozlowski will be in sometimes as a linebacker. He's normally a defensive back. They'll put him in there in that linebacker spot in passing situations to try to help cover Joe Cribbs out of the backfield.
And Langford replacing Gerald Small at that right cornerback. That hamstring bothering Small is the report. Third down 3. Roosevelt Lee. It'll be close. They mark him out at the 26, and if that's where the spot is, he could have the first down. It will be a first down. So Buffalo starting on their own 16-yard line. Now moving to the Miami 26. And looking good.
It's been a good drive for Buffalo, and they've done it by passing first and running second. They've gotten out of the tempo. The Dolphins have expected them to run on first down, and they're not. They're throwing on first down.
Now let's go back to tempo and A.J. Dewey. He's trying to pick up Ferguson's tempo for his set.
After a couple of series of downs, he'll get his tempo, and we'll talk more about it after this play.
Cribbs in motion. Throwing on first down. Has his man, it's Butler. Overthrows it. Langford picked him up. It'll be second down and 10 back at the 26.
Had his man open. Didn't have any more time to wait. Rush was there, had a blitz coming. A.J. Dewey was coming. What we're talking about, Charlie, is the key to Miami's defense is the movement of A.J. Dewey. If he moves from over the guard to over the tackle to outside, the offensive line and the backs have to adjust as far as if he blitzes, who's going to block him. Now, he's not going to line up where he's going to, which hole he's going to come through. And what he tries to do is get the cadence so he'll be at that spot at the right time when the ball is snapped. He doesn't want to show it too soon, but he wants to be there exactly when the ball is snapped.
Dewey, number 77. 5 in the secondary, second and 10 at the 26. 5 on the pattern. Both backs are out. It's the Cribb. 18-yard line. And then 3 more yards for the 18 to the 15 on his own. Kozlowski with a tackle, but it is a first down for Buffalo.
And we'll see Ferguson dropping back. Cribbs slipping through the middle of the line. The backs crossing to give the linebackers a little problem. This is what makes him so great. This move right here. 3 guys. He's going to get a couple extra yards through it. And we'll see Joe slipping through the line. It's a little dump-off pass. He wanted to throw the ball downfield, but when he goes right here, he gets him off balance, gets 3 or 4 more yards just because of his shiftiness and his quickness.
A report in in on Rod Cush. It is the knee injury. Doubtful if he will return. First down, 15-yard line. Miami territory. Bills on the move. Little play action fake. Pass is complete, and he goes to Buster Barnett. Flag is down. Barnett replacing Tony Hunter as the backup tight end behind Bramer. Hunter with a hamstring injury, did not practice this week, has not played thus far. Now let's see what the flag is all about. Is that our first penalty flag?
I think that's the first time they...
I called one that wasn't there. I believe that's the first one that was a real one. Holding against Buffalo. That cost you 10.
Charlie, you're talking about Tony Hunter, the rookie tight end. Let's get this call here.
There's no foul.
Oops.
The flag was picked up. The players will reverse. Play will stand.
What did he say?
He said the flag was picked up, the players were reversed. I have no idea what he means. Unless he means... Wait, hello? So we still have not had a flag. So I'm one-on-one with the officials.
Yeah.
I missed one, they missed one.
Tony Hunter, we're talking about Tony Hunter, the fine rookie. Don Shula says he reminds me of Kellen Winslow. They were preparing to play against Tony Hunter this week in practice. The fact that he's not in there today is going to limit some of the things that the Bills can do offensively.
Second down and 7. Trips inside the 10. We'll mark at the 9-yard line. Gain of 3, so it'll be third down and 4. In the Detroit-Green Bay game, Jones scoring from a yard out. It is Detroit 7 and Green Bay nothing. That's in the first quarter. Here we have no score, and we're winding down the first period. 46 seconds and counting. Third down and 4. Well within the field goal range of Joe Danello of the Buffalo Bills. Kozlowski is into the secondary.
Look for Joe Cribbs coming out of the backfield here.
From the shotgun. 4 wide receivers for the Bills. No tight end. Timing pattern, end zone, touchdown. Number 85 is Byron Franklin, and that is his first touchdown of the year.
We'll take another look. Franklin at the top of your screen with an inside release on Kozlowski. Then he swings back to the outside. Ferguson throws the ball in there perfectly. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Not only the first touchdown of the year, but for the second-year man from Auburn, it is first touchdown of his NFL career. Joe Danello will attempt the point after. Matt Kofler with the hold. And it is good. So Buffalo opens the scoring. The Bills 7, the Dolphins nothing with 16 seconds. Time remaining. First quarter in the Orange Bowl. We'll be back with the kickoff. The youngest head coach in the NFL, and Don Shula, well, he is the newest grandfather in the NFL. Walker bounces it a couple of times, picks it up, and then he is bounced. At about the 7-yard line by Gary Thompson. Thompson out of the College of Redwood. That's a 2-year JC. The scoring drive, 84 yards in 11 plays. It consumed 4 minutes and 58 seconds. And the touchdown pass, 9 yards from Ferguson to Byron Franklin. And for Franklin again, his first touchdown in the NFL.
That drive there, Charlie, will go a long way to give the Buffalo offense some confidence against this #1 Miami defense. They have not played that well as a unit the entire season, but that was an excellent drive.
Miami has the ball on their own 7-yard line, first down. Reno gives off to Franklin, and Franklin's in trouble. He'll lose 2, maybe 3. Lucius Stanford making the tackle at the 5-yard line. So it will be second down and 12 as time runs out in the first quarter. 1 in the book. 3 to go, and Buffalo leads it 7-0. And Bob Greasy, we're in the Orange Bowl as we start the second quarter. Buffalo 7 and Miami nothing. A 4-way tie in the AFC East. Buffalo, Miami, the Jets, and Baltimore with identical 3-2 records. And New England is a 2-3 record. Tony Nathan and Woody Bennett in the ball game. Flag is down. Reno throwing into the left flank out of the backfield. was Tony Nathan, I believe, and it is Sanford with the tackle. Was that Nathan? Yes. Now while we sort out the flag, and this is officially the first flag, it is against Buffalo. We'll look at the statistics in the first quarter. Total offense leaning way to the Bills' side, 97-32, but that's not a lot of offense in the first quarter.
No, it's not.
One long drive.
The Dolphins, that's right, one long drive. The Dolphins were fortunate to get the ball in good field position on the 17-yard line, but didn't do anything with it.
Personal foul. Number 77, defense, head slap, first down.
Personal foul on Ben Williams, a head slap. You know, Deacon Jones, when he was playing, that was legal, and then defensive lineman coming off the line could hit the side of the helmet and literally ring your bell, because your bell's ringing, no longer legal, of course. With that defensive foul, it's an automatic first down at the 20-yard line. Here is Franklin, and he is cut down at the 20-yard line. Mario Clark, the first man to get to him, moving up from defensive cornerback. Another score in on the Denver-Houston game. That game is now tied 7-7. Nielsen, a touchdown pass to Tim Smith of 40 yards. That game is in the second quarter. 9 seconds into the second quarter. The two games besides this one that we are particularly keeping our eye out for are scores from the Jets-Cleveland game and New England at Baltimore, because, of course, those involved AFC East teams. Hand off to Nathan inside and wrapped up by Eugene Marr. Outstanding defensive play.
It really was, Charlie. The Buffalo Bills, we talked about A.J. Dewey timing his blitz. Watch Eugene Marr, 54 on the move, gets there before Ed Newman can get to him. That's what they've got Marino's cadence down, just as Miami and Dewey was trying to get Ferguson's down, and they really have an advantage in knowing that Shula wants to run the ball to establish the run. They're going to have to throw some to open it up for the running game.
3rd and 11, another score in on Detroit, Green Bay. Detroit leading that now 10-0. Incomplete. Chris Williams, replacing the injured Rod Cush, thought he had the interception.
We'll see an end zone look of what Marino's looking at. Sanford dropping straight back. That means he's in a zone. He's not covering anybody individually. He throws the ball over his head, and behind him, Chris Williams, who got the first interception last Monday night for the Bills this season, dropping one that should have been right in his hands.
And speaking of interceptions, he has the only interception for the Bills this season. Riddick on the return, squirming for 7, maybe 8 yards. Jim Jensen making the tackle for the Miami Dolphins. 13-19, time remaining. First half, a 41-yard kick, a 7-yard return. We'll be back. News for Denver. And they have a tie ball game. We have a game here where it is Buffalo 7 and Miami nothing, and we have a technical problem right now, and we'll try and sort that out for you. 13-19, time remaining in the first half. It is Buffalo 7 and Miami nothing, and the Bills have the ball on their own 48-yard line. First down for Buffalo. Steve Freeman, of course, with the interception this ball game, so the Bills now have a total of 2 interceptions on the year. Bramer showing motion, Ferguson to throw. Into coverage, knocked away. Bramer, the intended receiver. It'll be second down and 10. Kozlowski is the man who was there for the Dolphins. Now let's check the scoreboard. We have a couple for you here. New Orleans and Atlanta now tied 3-3. They've traded field goals at 23 and 49 yards. Washington, St. Louis are now tied at 7-7. Neil Lomax's 35-yard pass for St. Louis. Second down and 10.
The elephant backfield is in there for the Bills.
Booker Moore and Roosevelt Leaks, the two big men, at 224 and 225. And they both go out in the pattern. Open is Frank Lewis, and he has been the key receiver in the ballgame thus far for the Buffalo Bills. A gain of 21 yards on the play. Lyle Blackwood makes it Miami 31-yard line, first down.
Charlie, it seems like Frank Lewis, as we watch Ferguson drop back and get a big hole in the middle of the line to see and throw through, Frank Lewis always has good games against the Miami Dolphins. Down through the years, he has been an outstanding receiver against the Miami Dolphins.
And for Frank Lewis, that is his 400th career reception. Miami showing the four-man front, plus A.J. Dewey. 31-yard line of the Dolphins. Bills on the move for the second time. Ferguson. Swing pass, right side, Booker Moore. Moore to the 25-yard line. Gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4. William Judson with the tackle. Bills offense continuing to move against the Dolphin defense.
Ferguson is really on target. The play selection has been good. They've been throwing on running downs. Plus, I think, Charlie, the Dolphin defense and all the different variations that they're doing now with their linebacker problems, playing the four-man line, bringing Kozlowski in on second down and passing situations. I don't think they're in their groove as much as they should be.
But still, they're the #1 defensive team in the NFL, and Buffalo is moving on them.
Exactly.
Second and 4. Cribbs' flag is down, and Cribbs is down. He may get a yard, and that's about it. We'll check out the flag. Mike Charles and A.J. Dewey on the tackle.
Tackle by 59.
Frank Lewis, 3 receptions for 50 yards already in the ball game.
Flag on the play.
We have 11:31 left to go in the second quarter. So he's off to a great start. Ferguson has had excellent protection. He has been sacked some 13 times this year. Matt Kofer, his back, has been sacked 5 times.
Well, Charlie, last year, the Buffalo Bills were number 3 percentage-wise against the sack.
Little problem with the microphone now. We would like to point out that this microphone equipment, may be working now, is furnished by the NFL and not by NBC. It's a official part of the league.
Joe doesn't really know what happened there. I've seen that expression. In fact, I've used that expression
several times.
So
now,
what in the world's going on? Let us play.
13 of the 18 sacks on the Buffalo Bills quarterback coming in their 2 losses to Miami and to the Jets.
Good point.
Second and 9. 30-yard line. Following the motion penalty. Receiver did not turn around. Cruising on the pattern was Frank Lewis. He never looked back.
Never looked back. They may run that pattern 25 times in practice. He's probably the last man that Fergie ever throws it to, but you've got to run them all out, because if the defense dictates it, he may be the only guy with single coverage, and that's where he went that time. The young receiver not running out his pattern. Could have been open.
A score in on the Denver-Houston game. It is now Denver 7, Denver 10, Houston 7. Carlin, a field goal for the Broncos as we looked again at that play. Again, Denver 10, Houston 7. Go ahead.
Ball thrown to the outside. If you make it move to the outside, he may have had a big completion.
Third down and 9. Four wide receivers in for the Bills. It's there. Byron Franklin. He got his first NFL touchdown earlier. He likes it. He now has his second, and the second of the ball game. He beat Bolton Walker. 52 yards on the drive in 6 plays and a 30-yard touchdown pass.
Excellent play by Joe Ferguson. He's got excellent receivers. Fine, fast, good speed receivers. He's got good protection, allows him to look the field over, lays the ball up, gives his receiver plenty of time to run under. Fulton Walker is beat. 6 points. Boy, it's fun to play. Fine sunshine weather, good protection, and receivers that get open.
Oh, that's a great statement.
Oh, boy.
Danilo to attempt the point after to make it 14-0. It's good. It is Buffalo 14, the Miami Dolphins 0. 11 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in the first half. His partner doesn't own the city. That's Bob Greasy's personal yacht in the background. The USS Greasy.
You see the heat waves coming off
it is
over
warm.
there, too?
It is warm. Danilo kicking off to the Dolphins. Fulton Walker running it out from 8 yards deep in the end zone. That's a mistake. And it cost 6 yards. His return is to the 14. If he downed it, he would be to the 20. Van Williams down for the Buffalo Bills. The scoring drive for the Bills. 5 plays, 52 yards, 2:02 elapsed time, 30-yard pass from Joe Ferguson, his second of the ball game. He now has 8 on the year, and Byron Franklin has his second touchdown of his career. So Miami moving on offense. Really haven't had a lot of offense going. They start from their 14-yard line. Will Shula stay with Marino?
I don't think Dan Marino has played that poorly up to this point. It's just the play selection has been a little bit conservative.
Interception. Second time he's been intercepted. Chris Keating has this one. And Buffalo has the ball.
And as I say it, he throws one right to the linebacker. A good throw to the linebacker. Maybe he's been throwing those drills in practice too much. You know, a lot of times they get the quarterback where Shula is not that happy with it. But that was a situation where he's tried to throw the ball over the linebacker and didn't get it high enough.
Here's another look.
A little play action on first down. Shula's trying to get some passing in on first down. I don't know if he doesn't see him. He obviously didn't see him because of the lineman in front of him, but it's a big interception at this point of the ball game.
10 minutes, 57 seconds left to go. Second quarter. Buffalo will have the ball at the Miami 25. They lead it, and they threaten again as we return. Jet Cleveland game, that's in the second quarter. Washington leading St. Louis 14-7. Buffalo leading Miami 14-0. And they have the ball at the Miami 25-yard line. Play action by Ferguson. Rolling right, throwing, flag is down, pass to Cribbs is incomplete. Now will they start out the marker and bring it back? Let's go back to what is Shula's thinking on Dan Marino. How long will he stay with him now that he's thrown 2 interceptions?
Well, I was going to say before, I thought he was playing all right, that Shula was just trying to establish the run. That last pass wasn't any good, but he'll stay with him in the half. He wants to give him a good opportunity.
Offense.
Our microphone is cutting out, but the last thing Don Shula wants to get into is another quarterback controversy like last year. Was it Woodley or was it Strock? It was a Wood-Strock situation. He's very happy when Woodley took over. Now he's gone, made his decision to go to Marino. He'd like to see Marino. You certainly can't judge him by half a play. The kid's got talent and got ability, but I think anytime you put a young quarterback in a situation like this, he's going to have some trouble, and he may work right out of it.
First down and 20 at the 35-yard line. 5 in the secondary for the Dolphins, anticipating the pass. And the 30-second clock running down on the Buffalo Bills. So from the 35, they're coming back to the 40-yard line, and it'll be first down and 25. And today's game is brought to you by GMC, a truck you can live with. By Heineken, come to think of it, I'll have a Heineken. And by the Texas Instruments home computer, creating useful products and services for you. So the Bills on the march, but in the wrong direction. And they have been directed by the yellow flag. They're back to the Miami 40-yard line, first and 25. What do you call on first and 25?
The coach will send that one in.
And you prefer it that way?
Yes, please send it in.
Griff, right side. Flag is down. Gribbs to the 38-yard line. So the play goes for 2, but there were 2 flags dropped. May have been an inadvertent face mask call. Now, if it's a defensive foul with 6 exceptions, it carries with it an automatic first down. But we're anticipating the call. An inadvertent face mask is one of the 6 exceptions. That's a new one, but that's not what it is. And in addition, it's against Buffalo. Can you believe this? What about first and 50? First and 35 at the 50.
Illegal block above the number 51. Illegal block above the waist.
And again, a reminder that that the part of the officials' equipment, the referees' equipment, into the PA system is furnished by the National Football League and not by NBC.
35.
Charlie, a situation like this, it drive a quarterback up the wall. He had a good field position down on the 25-yard line. They're already back to the 50-yard line. That's 1st and 35, and they had a situation to go in to score.
So the Bills, in reality, stopping themselves on this drive. Ferguson's pass underthrowing Frank Lewis. As we pause for station identification, this is the NBC television network.
2nd and 35.
This is Charlie Jones, Bob Greasy. We're in the Orange Bowl with 10:34 left to go in the first half. It is Buffalo 14 and Miami nothing. Washington now leading St. Louis 21-7. 2nd and 35 for Buffalo.
Important thing here, Charlie, is not necessarily to get the first down, just get some yardage, get Danilo back into field goal range at least, so he can kick a field goal. You don't have to make up 35 yards on this play.
Ferguson has pressure rolling out, slips the sack, makes the throw, and it is incomplete. Underthrowing Jerry Butler, and he may have been just, I think he's pleased just to get rid of the ball.
He's gaining his breath is what he's doing. He's running around, scrambling around for his life. This is a key to this game so far, the fact that the Buffalo Bill offensive line is giving him time to throw. Good coverage in the secondary. He's got plenty of time. Dewey can't get to him. Good protection. He steps up, scrambles out to the right. Bocamper misses him, and he had a man open. He just couldn't get the ball to him.
He was probably exhausted by the time he was ready to throw.
I've been there.
3rd and 35. Lewis, Franklin, Tuttle, and Butler, 4 wide receivers in as targets for Ferguson.
4 good wide receivers.
Jerry Butler. Inside the 40, out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Gain of 11, but it'll be 4th down and still 24 to go. Houston, Denver, they're battling, and
11 yards.
for his pride as much as anything else, off to very slow start. Denver, look at this, 17-7. They made the change at quarterback, and Steve DeBerg has now thrown his 2nd touchdown pass of that ball game.
You know, Charlie, we saw Elway in his last start against the Chicago Bears, very similar to the situation here in Marino in his first start. Marino's got a jump on him. I think that he really hasn't been thrown to the wolves like Elway has. Elway, the best thing he could have done is to sit him down, let him cool down for a while, and then maybe 2 or 3 games down the road or get him some more experience. But that was a tough situation for John Elway.
Greg Cater kicking to Mark Clayton. He goes for hang time and not distance, fair catch. And he takes it, bobbles it. If it touches the ground, it's a free ball. If he had it again, and I think he did before he came down, then the Dolphins will have the ball, and they do. With just over 10 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. It is Buffalo 14 and Miami nothing. We'll be back to the Orange Bowl in just a moment. Don't go away. 14-0 in possession at their own 14-yard line with Tony Nathan and Andre Franklin, the 2 running backs. Dan Johnson, the tight end, showing motion. Dan Marino is still the quarterback. Trying to establish that running game. It is Franklin, stopped by Eugene Marv.
You know, one of the keys is the offensive line. The battles are going on. That time, the Miami Dolphins offensive line clearing some yardage. So we'll take a look. Stevenson over Smerlis in the middle, number 57. Battling. Smerlis goes over on his back. Dwight Stevenson, one of the up-and-coming centers in the National Football League. They'll go 50-50 on that battle today, though. Smerlis will get his licks in.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Reno's pass is complete. Dan Johnson, the tight end, may have the first down at the 25-yard line. Picks up about 8. Eugene Marv with the tackle. First down. And the roar of the crowd and the smell of the grease paint here in the Orange Bowl with that first down. First thing they've had to cheer about, just a player introduction. Detroit running away from Green Bay is now 17-0. James Jones has scored 2 touchdowns in that ball game, and still no score between the Jets and Cleveland with 2 minutes left in the first half. It is scoreless. Woody Bennett close to the 30-yard line. We'll give him 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Chris Keating and Urban Parker making the tackle.
Don Shula trying to get some running game, trying to get some offense going. Sticking with his game plan, not getting flustered. We have a lot of time to play, and I'm sure he wants to not force Marino into a pass-only situation.
The Bills' defense had to figure, though, all week long, as soon as they found out that Marino would start, that they would have the running game. They would go primarily with the running game.
Sure, they knew that. If we knew it, they knew it.
Yeah, that's no big secret. 2nd and 5, rolling out, looking, throwing, pass is complete. First down. Nat Moore on the receiving end. Clark was there for the defense. 44-yard line, gain of 14. 2 first downs in the drive, and the crowd beginning to enjoy this part of the ball game.
Marino doing one of the things he's very good at, throwing on the run outside the pocket. This gives the Bills a little bit more to think about. Containment of the quarterback. Good pass on first down to Nat Moore.
Shula calling the plays on the first 2 downs.
Shula's calling the first and second down plays to set the tempo of the game. The third down passes he's letting Marino call.
David Overstreet has 4 yards to the 48. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Chris Keating with the tackle. Overstreet with only 78 yards on 28 rushes coming into this ballgame. Has he been a disappointment? I really thought he'd have more yardage by now.
Well, he was a little bit of a disappointment early on in the training camp, preseason. He fumbled the ball. Shula stuck with him, put him in the ball game, and he's played well, but Tony Nathan's ahead of him, and Nathan is a fine receiver and runner.
In fact, he is the leading receiver and leading rusher for the Dolphins. 2nd and 6. Woody Bennett making a good move, slipping a tackle in the backfield, and he'll be close to the first down. Let's see where they spotted around the Buffalo 46. It is a first down. So that's 3 first downs in this drive. And it has been the run that has set up and controlled the drive.
Exactly. The offensive line has been controlled by the Dolphins on this series. Handoff. Lucius Sanford missing the tackle, coming across the line of scrimmage. Good block by Stevenson. When you have your man that far downfield, you know you're going to gain some yardage.
It's gone at the Buffalo 45-yard line. First down. Just over 6.5 minutes. Overstreet slips 1 tackle. Fakes inside, goes out. Little stiff arm and goes out of bounds. He'll lose a couple, maybe 3. Charles Rome's got him. Steve Freeman was putting the pressure on, the first man that he had to avoid. That, of course, slows down the whole play and throws off everybody's timing.
The key to that play was the man coming upfield, Freeman coming upfield. He knows in I formation, one of the plays the Dolphins like is that pitch around the end, and he got upfield and made it go inside. Then the rest of the pursuit from the defenders was there.
And a Buffalo player is shaken up. That's Eugene Marv, so we have an injury timeout as the trainers are out to talk with him. And we now have a score in that Cleveland Jet game, and Cleveland leading it 7-0. Seif to Jones-Bass for 32 yards. 19 seconds left in the first half when that score occurs.
We saw a shot of Don Strock a second earlier with the baseball cap on. As we see Eugene Marv, he doesn't appear to be too seriously hurt, but Strock is an interesting story. Came in late to training camp, didn't come in till after the first game of the year. First game was the Buffalo game. There's Strock with the cap on. Had an opportunity, made a play some today. I don't know, he changed quarterbacks with Marino, and his ability to play today is really in doubt, Charlie. Early in the week, he was cooking some steaks out on the grill and dropped the glass. He was in his bare feet, dropped the glass on the concrete patio of his home and cut the top of his foot. Has 8 stitches. Walked around all week without a shoe on. Almost became the first barefoot holder in the National Football League for extra points and field goals.
While you absorb that, you are looking at the regional coverage of NFL action on NBC next week. We've got more good games for you again next week. Second down and 12. Buffalo leading here 14-0. It's a screen. They had trouble kind of filtering out. Tony Nathan finally worked his way out of the backfield in the on-charging Bill and almost picked up a first down. It was second and 12, and he gets about 11 yards to the 36.
Charlie, that was a good play offensively by the Dolphins. It was a screen pass, as you noted, but it's very tough to complete a screen pass against man-to-man coverage, because when there's man coverage, the man covering Nathan, who the screen goes to, is standing there right there looking at him. If it was a zone, he'd be dropping back. But he's got to cover him man-to-man, so he's right there looking at him. Dolphins got it off for a big play, 3rd and 1.
And Eugene Marv is back in the ball game for Buffalo. Foster, a tight end, short yardage situation for the Dolphins. He's number 61 and is on the right side to block. And they go that way, and there it is, Woody Bennett. Inside the 20, the 15, and then pushed out of bounds. 3rd down and 1. Chris Williams finally pushed him out. Roy Foster and Nat Moore, the lead blockers.
I think you'll see Nat Moore, number 89, and Tony Nathan, 22, getting good blocks to the right of your screen. Ed Newman, 64, pulling. Nathan, 22, throwing his body, getting a good block. Woody Bennett with a long stride. Big gain on 3rd down and 1, down to the 11-yard line.
Isn't it awfully tough to pop something open on 3rd and 1? Everybody's bunched in.
Well, that's exactly right, Charlie. Sometimes the defense will slant one way or slant the other way or pinch everybody into the middle. That way, that time they were pinched into the middle, and the Dolphins ran wide.
At the 11-yard line, first down. Andre Franklin and Ben Williams on the tackle. 6-yard line, gain of 5, so it'll be 2nd down and 5. Now let's update the scoreboard. It is now Denver 20 and Houston 7. Another field goal by the Broncos. Garland now has a pair in that ball game. New England leading Baltimore 7-0. A Grogan touchdown pass of 9 yards. 9:32 left to go in the first quarter of that ball game. Remember, they start in Baltimore an hour later than our start here. Overstreet and Bennett are the running back. And it is Overstreet. And he is cut down at the 6-yard line by Eugene Marv. That's the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5 at the 6-yard line. What do you call?
Impatient. Tony Nathan. David Overstreet was too impatient that I was just looking and thinking about what do you call? Buffalo in this situation likes to double the wide receivers. They double the 2 wide guys. Wide receivers, what you like to do is throw to your tight end or one of your backs coming out of the backfield. Of course, Buffalo may know that too and switch, but the Dolphins will likely go to either their tight end or their back in the backfield, Tony Nathan.
Joe Rose, good receiver, tight end. Right side, he's flexed out a couple of yards. Not looking that way, looking the other way, knocked away at the 1-yard flag down. They'll call pass interference on Charles Roan. Chris Williams is arguing they're going to lose the argument.
And they threw his flag. He touched him. He can't touch the official. He threw his flag. He didn't have another flag in his pocket, so he threw his cap for another penalty.
Now, that's only half the distance, though.
That's not much.
It's not going to cost you but half a yard. But that might cause ejection from the ball game. And the officials are having a conference. Here is Fred Silva.
Defensive. First down, 1-yard line.
Defensive pass interference, first down at the 1-yard line. Now, Romes is coming out of the ballgame. I am not sure if he was ejected or not. We do not have anything official on that. Let's go back to the replay on the call.
Marino looks left the entire time.
It's hard to tell from there.
Hard to tell from that angle.
Of course, the defender is saying, I'm going up above him and after the ball. If he does that and does not touch him, it's okay. You cannot go through the player.
If he touches the ball at the same time it reaches the receiver and then makes contact with his body, there is no foul. But from that angle, we couldn't tell.
Assessed at the spot of the, now the ball is screwed in. Here's maybe the ejection call.
He's ejected. First down.
Unsportsmanlike, and Romes is out of the ball game. He is ejected.
That's pretty strong there, Charlie.
Well, that is.
That is pretty strong. I don't know what happened or what transpired or what was said, but if just a simple touching in that manner gets him ejected that quickly, I'd be very surprised.
I have a theory. I'll give it to you after this play. Going for the touchdown. There it is. Woody Bennett. His first touchdown of the year. Dolphins are on the board, and it was Stevenson and Newman that opened the hole. 86-yard drive.
To take a look at it, Dolphins offensive line against the Bills defensive line. Firing out. Good hole in the center. Woody Bennett in for the score.
4:46 time remaining in the second quarter. Uwe von Schamann to attempt the point after. It is good, and the Dolphins are back in the ball game. Take another look at the touchdown. Woody Bennett, his first score of the year. Stevenson, the key block. 14-7. Buffalo leads. We'll be back. That's one of the Jets picked up the flag, threw it in the air. There was an additional penalty added on to. Remember, this right before Cribb's fumble. When that happens, and I'll finish this right after the kickoff, but when that happens, there's a crackdown by the NFL officials' office on it. They want to stop that immediately. This is Riddick on the far side. Fumble. Buffalo has it. Now, Charles Rome's ejected from this ballgame, number 26. I believe that when this happens, the officials, and rightly so, they don't want this type of thing to get out of hand. They want to stop a trend, stop it immediately. Notification goes out to all the officials. They have a 5 or 6 hour meeting on Saturday when they review the films. They go over everything, and they say, this is an area, if it happens again, immediate ejection, we will stop it. I believe that is what happened.
Is he the one
You can say I agree or disagree. Don't just sit there.
Well, I want to know, is he the one that touched the official, or was it something that he said?
Okay. Ferguson for the 27-yard line of Buffalo. And he completes the pass to Frank Lewis. With one exception of the ballgame on a long pass near the end zone when Lewis failed to turn around. He has got everything in his reach except the first pass of the game that was in his hand.
Ferguson, the beneficiary of excellent protection by his offensive line. We see Jones setting up the block on 58. Bocamper looking downfield. He's coming off to his secondary receiver. The Dolphins have not gotten close to Ferguson all day, except one time he scrambled around. They've tried zone coverages and man coverages. Ferguson is hot to control the game with his passing.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. 3:48 left to go. 2 seconds on the 30-second clock. He turns, calls timeout. Did not want to make a mistake. That's a veteran call. Now everyone realizes there is that log jam in the AFC East with Buffalo, Miami, the Jets, and Baltimore. 4 teams tied for first with identical 3-2 records. New England has a 2-3 record. At halftime, Cleveland 7, the New York Jets nothing. And in the first quarter, it is New England 7 and Baltimore nothing. And here, it is Buffalo 14 and Miami 7 with 3:46 left to go. And these are the standings that we were talking about. So we're beginning to start a sorting procedure. But as close as this is in the AFC East, it may take another 7 or 8 weeks before you can really sort it out.
5 games have been played, 16 to be played altogether. It's just too early to make any sense out of the 5 games that have been played already. It's a long season, and it's very young at this point.
But I will tell you one thing. Washington is they're on the way back to the Super Bowl. Dallas, of course, is going to be their big stumbling block. They now lead St. Louis 24-7. Redskins looking good. Word from the NFL. Romes was ejected because he shoved the official. He shoved the official, Bob Beeks, and you do not touch the officials, as you know. I mean, that's it. So, like I said, it had absolutely nothing to do with the call in Monday night and throwing the flag, but I thought it might be related, but it was not. Second down and 3, 34-yard line. Ferguson. Diving reception by Jerry Butler. Yeah. A timing pattern.
Great
41-yard line.
Great catch. There's not much margin of error on a pass like this. It's bump and run on Butler outside. He gets no help whatsoever. Ferguson sees it and just lays it up and down the field. Kozlowski, number 40, not seeing the ball at all. Here we get a good shot of it. Kozlowski doesn't know where the ball is. Butler lays out.
Oops, hello there.
Covers himself up.
May have bounced at one time. 41-yard line of Miami. First down. "25 yards on that last play. Flag comes flying way across the field as Butler made the reception on this side. Now, with the whole key to this is the time that Ferguson has to throw it.
Exactly, and the fact that the Dolphins have their 2 starting cornerbacks out of there, and he's getting fine protection.
Against the Dolphins. But the veteran just picking that defense to pieces.
He is certainly doing that. He's hot. He's got good receivers. He's got time to throw. And he's pretty hot about it, too.
Call against A.J. Dewey.
Don Shula, over the first 5 games, the thing that's held this ball club together has been the defense. The offense has sputtered. The defense has played well for the most part. Here today, he's given up 14 points in nearly 2 quarters of play.
First down, 27-yard line. Denver and Houston. Earl Campbell. From a yard out, it's now 20-14. Here it is, 14-7 Buffalo. Buffalo on the Miami 27-yard line, first down. 2:49 left to go in the first half. Draw, Cribb. To the 21-yard line, gain of 6. Second down and 4, Dewey with the tackle. Dewey is a new father. Wife Francis with a baby this week. So they don't know whether to name the boy A.J. or J.A.
J.A. It's Adam Joseph or Joseph Adam, but A.J. was passing out some cigars this week and smiling from ear to ear. First child for the Deweys.
Halftime score you saw there, and halftime score between Washington and St. Louis. Second and 4 at the Miami 21. Roosevelt Lee out of bounds at the 19. So it's third down and 2. Kim Bocamper, the man the Leaks was trying to stiff arm away from the play. And Brzezinski also there.
That was a good shot there of how the offense and the defense were spread out. What Buffalo likes to do is get their wide receivers in the ball game and spread them all out along the line of scrimmage. Ferguson can look it over and see who's covering whom and then pick out who he wants to go to.
Third down 2. This should be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
On to the left.
And it is. Leaks continuing effort for the first down to the 16-yard line. He needed 2. He got 3, and that takes us to 1:57 time remaining in the half. And that means that we will have the 2-minute warning and a timeout. And we'll be going away for a moment, but we'll be coming back. It is Buffalo 14, Miami 7, 1:57 left to go in the second quarter. Partner, old number 0. What's that move? I love the way he walks.
Well, I tell you, Charlie, if you want to lose weight today, get in one of those suits and walk around.
By the way, the preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. Buffalo has the ball at the Miami 16, first down. Minnesota and Chicago. 10-7 second quarter. Game being played in Soldier Field. Don Shula. In case you joined us late, we just want to mention it again. Brand new grandfather this morning. Cribbs, sweep right side. Good defensive play. Gain of 2. Brudzinski made the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Little play that starts off up the middle to try and hold Dewey. Doesn't do it very well. You see Dewey running laterally just as much as Cribbs gets over there to help out on the tackle.
Bills offense moving well again, starting this drive on their own 27-yard line. They had an 84-yard touchdown drive and a 52-yard touchdown drive. 6 men in the secondary for the Dolphins. 2nd and 8. Trying to put together a 73-yard touchdown drive here. Over the middle, thrown behind the intended receiver, Byron Franklin, who has 2 touchdown receptions for Buffalo. Kozlowski was probably the closest man to the ball.
Joe Ferguson knows a good thing, trying to go back to Franklin again to see if he can get another touchdown. Wants a timeout here. We're going to go over and talk about it.
Now, does that happen? Do you have a hot receiver in a ball game and you start looking for him?
Sometimes you do. I think in this instance, the Dolphins are double covering Lewis, who has always given them trouble, and Butler, and Franklin comes in as the 3rd wide receiver, gets a single coverage with Mike Kozlowski.
And speaking of football, next Sunday, join Lynn Berman and NFL 83. They start the day with feature reports and a preview of the day's games. And then we have outstanding regional action. Miami will be in Shea Stadium against the Jets. Cleveland and Pittsburgh. There's another good. San Diego, New England. That's a good one. Houston, Minnesota. Well, Houston, of course, has problems. Buffalo at Baltimore. There's another good one. The Raiders at Seattle. Hey, Cincinnati at Denver. Not that good in reality, but here's 5 or 6 excellent ball games.
With the way DeBerg is playing, I think that this Denver team is going to be much more competitive in the weeks to come. Elway will be there eventually, long term. DeBerg certainly can bring that offense back immediately.
And coming up at halftime, Lynn Berman, who we just mentioned, he is everywhere. The omnipresent man, NFL 83. Now, conference at the sideline with a veteran quarterback. What are they really discussing?
They're talking about what the Dolphins have shown in the last few ball games in this situation. A lot of teams do it by computers. There's a coach up in the press box that has all that stuff right in front of him. He looks like inside the 15-yard line on 3rd down. He looked right down the column and says, okay, the Dolphins have done this. This is our strength. This is what we want to do to attack that defense. You can get it in your mind if you're a quarterback and call the plays on the field, or you can go to the sideline and have them call it for you.
Now, Buffalo leading 14-7. Last time Buffalo defeated Miami here in the Orange Bowl, Kay Stevenson, the Bills head coach, was in his senior year at the University of Florida, and he was the backup quarterback to Spurrier. 3rd down and 8. From the shotgun. Pass is complete. Butler at the 10-yard line, cut down at the 11.
Good play by Lyle Blackwood.
Gain of 3.
Good receivers are spread out across the field. Butler at the top comes across the field. Ferguson looks into the end zone. This is his outlet. You'll see Lyle Blackwood coming from the left. He was deep in the end zone, read the quarterback. As soon as he saw the dump off to Butler, came up and made the tackle.
Joe Danello with a field goal attempt upcoming now. He started his career in 1975 as the 10th round draft choice of the Dolphins. He was released with the Packers, and then, of course, quite a few years with the Giants. And now with Buffalo. From the 17, 27 yards, no good. So he hits a line drive that is no good from 27 yards away. It'll go as a touchback. Miami will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. Let's see what happens. Kofler holding.
Little high snap. Gets it down in good shape. I think he kicked a little high up on the ball, Charlie.
That's your expert analysis. I'll go with that.
I used to kick.
Did you?
Yeah, I kicked in high school and college.
Were you,
a lot of them.
Were you any good?
I was no good. No.
That's the reason you recognize the form.
That's right. That's the way I kicked a lot of. Hit the goal post. They all came back at me.
Miami now, for their own 20-yard, they just want to run out the clock. They'll settle for that. There's the countdown, 5 seconds and counting. There it is. Gun sounds. That is the end of the first half. The score is Buffalo 14 and Miami 7. So it has been a first half dominated by the Buffalo offense.
Surprising, too, because they are playing so well against a defense that is a strong defense in the National Football League. Going through here, it's a tough first half, but you gain confidence. You kind of say to yourself, well, the worst is over. Let me go back out there and show them how well I can do. I haven't done that well. Let me go out and show him how well I can play. I think he's going out there with a lot of confidence.
Now, is that what you did, or did you show him that the worst was yet to come?
I did that later on, but I think I did play a little bit better in the second half. The more you're out there, the more relaxed you are, and like I said, I think he showed the people he can play a lot better than he has played.
And also, what about the confidence of the other ball players of his offensive team? Is that part and parcel of the same thing?
They know that he can do the job, or else he would be in there.
Miami from their own 30-yard line. Tony Nathan has a yard to the 31. Lucius Sanford makes the tackle at the 31, so it is second down and 9.
Gain 2 yards, second and
From the end zone.
First play, Lucius Sanford coming from the right of your screen, blitzing on a linebacker blitz. There's no tight end there to block him off, so he gets a free run into the backfield. His athletic ability and speed is what got him there.
Now, David Kilson has replaced Romes at right cornerback. Romes was ejected for pushing one of the officials. Reno's pass is on target. First down, Miami to Tony Nathan. Big first down from a confidence standpoint.
On target and on the money. It was man-to-man coverage and good coverage. Nathan was running directly away from him, and he stuck the ball right where he could catch it. High, near his helmet, easy catch, turn upfield. Marino has been throwing the ball very well, except for a couple of errant throws.
Let's update our scoreboard. Washington 31, St. Louis 7. Theismann just throwing a touchdown pass here in the third quarter of that ball game. Atlanta 10-3 over New Orleans. Markowski a touchdown pass that he has just completed in that ball game. Here's a sweep to the right side with David Overstreet. Good defensive play. Sanford again. Boy, he has a strong start in the second half.
They shifted the tight end from the left side to the right side to run at Sanford. Sanford usually goes away from the tight end. They wanted to run at him this time. He says, if you're going to do that, try to run strong at me. I'm going to use my quickness and speed, avoid the blocking, and get up, make a good play, loss of 2 yards.
Second down and 12. Miami at their own 41-yard line. Passing down. So the Bills defense forcing him into the pass, which is what they want to do, of course. And a sack. Ben Williams, that is his second sack of the ball game, his 5th of the year, and all 5 coming against Miami.
He likes to play against the Dolphins. Only a 3-man rush, a zone deep. Marino should have gotten rid of the ball, done something with it. He sees it, the zone coverage. The man he wants to throw to is not open. There you see Nathan at the top of the screen sneaking out. The thing he has to do as a young quarterback is, if the receivers aren't open like he's anticipating and expecting them to, you only have so much time. And then when that time is up, know who to dump it off to and get rid of it. Avoid the sack.
Third down 22, a loss of 10 on the sack. From the shotgun, over the middle, pass is pulled down. It is complete. It is Mark Duper. Gilson with the tackle. Duper drawing his starting assignment, replacing Duriel Harris. It'll be fourth down, still around 6 or 7, so Reggie Roby will come in to kick.
Good throw there and a good read. Marino is throwing the ball well. Physically, most of his throws today have been on the money. Where he's having his problem is sometimes deciding his decisions on holding the ball too long. He gets sacked.
Roby kind of line drives this one, and this one is caught and then run into the end zone.
Should have threw the ball backwards.
So it's a touchback. You're right.
Should have caught it and just throw it back into the field of play.
Robert Sowell down very quickly, catching it. Second time the Dolphins have tried this in the ballgame. It is legal, but he ran it into the end zone. If he'd stayed in the field of play, he would have been down at that point. We'll be back. leading 14-7. Inside handoff to Booker Moore. And he's stopped by the defense. Bocamper, the first man to get to him. Bob Auer was also there.
Charlie, a lot of clubs have been running at the right side of the Dolphin defense at Bocamper and Bowser. That time they tried a little bit of a trap play over that way where the guard pulls out, tries to come over and block Bocamper from the side. Didn't work, but that's been the problem with the Dolphin run defense, their right side.
Roby for the record at a 53-yard punt. It is 2nd and 11 at the 19 for Buffalo. Here comes pressure from the backside, but the pass is complete to Booker Moore at the 25-yard line. A gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down and 5. A.J. Dewey with the tackle. And we had the new father isolated, A.J. number 77.
A.J. Dewey with a big smile on his face a couple days ago and is handing out cigars. Dropping straight back in his zone. Sees Cripps coming out. Doesn't want to do anything but just get him down. When you get those shifty backs coming at you, Charlie, and you're as big as A.J., you don't want to get fancy and try to knock their head off. Just bring him down.
3rd down and 5. Buffalo with 3 wide receivers for Joe Ferguson to throw to. Out of the University of Arkansas, the Razorback in control of the ball game right now, 14-7. Pass is complete at the 29-yard line to Perry Tuttle. Now, Tuttle was not touched when he went down. He could have rolled for the first down, but he may end up about a half a yard short.
You talk about some confusion in the middle of the field. I think every receiver that the Bills had on the line of scrimmage crossed that time, and they avoided each other, but the defenders were bumping into each other. We'll see Ferguson dropping back, man coverage, so the crossing patterns are good. Catches the ball. If he would have rolled past the 30-yard line, it'll be a little short.
He's a little, kind of jerky coming out. He may have had the wind knocked out of him when he went down and may not have been able to react. So it is 4th down and 1. And Greg Cater will be kicking to Mark Clayton. We're just about 5 minutes into the second half. 14-7, Buffalo leading. Taken at the 31-yard line by Kozlowski, who had signaled for the fair catch. So we've got a timeout. 9:58 left to go in the 3rd. It is still Buffalo 14, Miami 7. When we come back, the Dolphins will have the football. Defense with Mark Duper and Mark Clayton, the 2 wide receivers. Eddie Hill is in as one of the running backs. Tony Nathan is the other. Dan Marino, of course, is the quarterback. First down, Miami from their own 32. Passing formation. Going deep, has his man. It's there, and he misses him. Eddie Hill was open.
Duper.
That's Duper, but he was open.
He was open for a second. Safety was coming over deep to pick him up. The throw needed to be a little bit quicker release. I think Marino read it a little bit late. Bill Arnsbarger, the orange shirt, talking to his defensive troops. It's a very hot day today in the Orange Bowl. Kim Bocamper with the towel over his head, trying to cool off. A lot of people trying to cool off today.
Franklin and Bennett replace Hill and Nathan in the backfield. And this is Franklin. To the 37-yard line, so he has about 5 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Eugene Marv with the tackle. We've mentioned the heat. The temperature at kickoff was 83, but that can be deceptive in Miami because of the humidity. A little fan to help off the field.
Fan blowing the hot air around. The humidity was 85%, and the temperature was 83, and it should work to the advantage of the Dolphins working out in it.
3rd down 5. Deep.
He's open.
And open. He's there. 30-yard line. 20. It's Duper. Duper into the end zone. 63 yards.
And Marino is running 63 yards to meet him. I did that. The first long touchdown and pass I threw, I think I ran the length of the field and said, way to go. There's a pass. The two wide receivers are running deep. He has the option if they're man coverage. Here we talked about the fact that Romes is out of the ball game. Chris Williams trying to cover him.
And he high steps into the end zone.
They won't catch Mark Duper.
He has run an official 10:21 100 meters. Uwe von Schaman. And he puts the bow in the knot and is tied at 14-14. 9:03 left to go in the third. As Marino celebrates with his teammates, we'll be back with a kickoff. To kick off on Orange Sunday here in the Orange Bowl. Van Williams and Mike Mosley are set for the return. It'll be Van Williams from the 6, to the 15, to the 20, 30, 40. 40 yards on the return. As we pause briefly for station identification, this is the NBC Television Network.
This is WGRZ TV2 Buffalo.
This is Charlie Jones, Bob Greasy, and Van Williams at work.
Big play. Buffalo running to their right. Jim Jensen, the quarterback, number 11, throws his body, tries to make the tackle. Good run by Williams. Got over there, got it set up. This is an area where the special teams can really be a big part of it. Get your offense out away from their goal line in good field position.
Officially a 41-yard return to the 47-yard line, first down. Ferguson, Cribb missed the ball. He thought he had it. He just shakes his head.
Joe is a big part of this Buffalo offense. Leading rusher, leading receiver. He means a lot to this man right here, Joe Ferguson. If he's not in there, he's a big part of that offense is out there. Of course, everyone knows he's going to the USFL next year, but you know, he's in his lame duck season, and he's really giving it all he's got. He's playing very well. Zonka kicking Warfield played out their season when I was with the Dolphins. It didn't affect their play whatsoever. They played very well. Cripps is doing the same thing.
So you could really call that ERB, an error on the running back. It was right off of his hand. Crowd really pounding the stadium here. I picture bobbling just a bit, but Mike Bramer does not bobble the reception. 47-yard line, Miami territory, gain of 6. It'll be third down and 4. Glenn Blackwood with the tackle.
Gain of 7 yards.
That scoring drive, 68 yards in 3 plays. 63-yard touchdown pass to Mark Super Duper from Dan Marino.
Don Shula is encouraging on his defense. He's not very happy with the way they played today. Ferguson has always completed a lot of passes against the Dolphins, but certainly hasn't gotten as many points in the last couple of times he's played against the Miami defense.
Inside fake of the handoff to Cribb. Flag is down. There was some bumping. Butler, the intended receiver, the man covering him, ended up out of bounds and then came back inbound.
We're going to call that on Fulton Walker, I believe, by jamming too far downfield, Charlie.
That'll be the call. You can make that one chuck within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Then you have to let the wide receivers go.
Bill Arnsparger in the orange shirt.
Illegal contact, defense on the cornerback.
First down, 41-yard line.
You don't see Don Shula arguing, or Bill Arnsparger. You see Don Shula will argue every now and then, but Arnsparger will not really argue that much unless he feels like he's got a strong case. But nonetheless, the 1st and 10 for the Buffalo Bills.
First down, Miami 41-yard line. Cribb, flag is down. 33-yard line. Paul Langford with the tackle. This one against the Bills. We have a couple of scores for you, so let's update Some other action. Atlanta now leading New Orleans 10-6. They're in the
Offense, holding.
Washington continues to lead.
Number 72.
Holding on Ken Jones, offensive left tackle. Now this is the relay. Now watch this. One of them is live and one of them isn't. So one counts, one doesn't. Kay Stevens, head coach, said, okay, now which one was the live? What are we going to do?
They look like two guys with an itch over there.
Buffalo at their own 49-yard line following the penalty. First down and 20. Cribbs closed up inside, jumps outside. Still picks up 3 yards to the Miami 48. Bob Brzezinski with a tackle. Second down 17.
You've got to try and contain Joe Cribbs. You can't stop him. You can't come up and hit him hard. He's too shifty. He's too quick. Just contain him. Try to hold him down a little bit. Joe Ferguson has been successful today, Charlie, because he's thrown when he's wanted to. He's thrown on first down. He's got them before they got their nickel defense in and their hard pass rush. He's attacked them before they got to him.
Miami now with 6 in the secondary. The Blackwood brothers, Judson, Walker, Kozlowski, and Langford.
Showing blitz.
Deep into double coverage. There's bumping, and there will be a flag going down. Franklin, the intended receiver.
I didn't see that. If it's offensive, if it's defensive interference, I didn't see either one of them.
There was bumping. It may have been inadvertent, and that may be what the conference is about. Are you sure, or was it inadvertent? No, it's pass interference against the defense. Here's the call.
Defense, number 49. Pass interference, first down.
Call on William Judson. Let's take a look.
That man right there can't believe it. Take a look at the end of it. It seemed to me both the receiver and the two defensive backs were going for it. Judson ran in front of him to get to the ball.
And he has an equal right to get to the ball.
Exactly. He was quicker than the receiver. He got there before the receiver. He didn't bump or push the receiver. He was going for the football.
Like the first car in the intersection is the right-of-way. I disagree with that call.
I do too.
11-yard line, first down. Play action. Out of the backfield. Booker Moore into the end zone. It started with a 41-yard return by Van Williams. The big play of the drive after Buffalo was frustrated by their own penalties was the pass interference on William Judson that I would say questionable at best, but it still counts.
How many times have you seen it? A big call goes against the defense. Defense is down a little bit. The offense comes right back wide open. Booker Moore. Nobody going to stop him from getting in the end zone.
Joe Ferguson, 3 touchdown passes in the ball game, so he continues with a hot hand. Joe Danello with the extra point. The Bills are back in front by a score of 21-14 with 6:42 left to go. We're in the third quarter at the Orange Bowl. Don't go away. It's not over for a long, long time. About and think about and discuss that call by the official. But it will stand. That you can be sure of. And Buffalo has the lead, 21-14.
There's nothing you can do about it. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you have to blame an official's call. You still got plenty of time to go out and play the game. Both Buffalo and Miami still up in the air.
Bolton Walker, this time, no, he's going to down it. Now let's go back to the call. The basic plan, or the basic rule to remember, is that the receiver and the defender have an equal opportunity to the football.
You see on your left side of your screen, Judson cutting inside, getting closer to the ball. The only thing I could say is maybe they feel like he cut him off.
They may. That may be the call.
They thought they cut him off.
Still is borderline. But still it counts.
I don't know if he could have caught the ball.
That's another. There's a look at the drive.
They've been overthrown. Nobody could have caught it. Nobody did catch it.
Miami from their 20-yard line. Little play action on first down. This one is drilled far side. First down. 15-yard pass to the 35-yard line. Mark Cooper, the receiver. Kilson had the coverage. Booker Moore, by the way, with that touchdown, scored his first touchdown of his career.
That's a good call by the Dolphins. Play action fake, or an attempted one. Duper had just run by Kilson on the last play for a touchdown. Duper runs him off, then comes back for the little square out pattern.
First down Miami, their own 35-yard line. Did you come out throwing again?
No, you run up the middle.
Okay. Franklin, flags are down, whistle sound. Why don't you come out throwing again?
Because I saw what the play was going to be.
It's illegal procedure. But when they came out throwing, they were throwing at David Kilson, who has replaced Charles Romes on the defensive right side because Rod Cush is out with a knee injury and Romes has been ejected.
Ball start.
Ball start. Called against the Dolphins. We have a couple of scores for you. Minnesota out in front of Chicago, so the Bears continue with their problems. And look at this, Detroit running away from Green Bay.
What a surprise. Green Bay, that powerful offense.
Bennett and Overstreet in the backfield. Now off on the wing. First and 15. Overstreet crowded. Tries to get around the corner. Cut off. Comes back inside. Good move. 36-yard line. 8 of 6. It'll be 2nd and 9. Ed Newman with a key block. Eugene Marv with a tackle.
It's a good run by Overstreet. A little earlier in the game, I said he was impatient. He cut upfield before his lineman had a chance to block for him. This time, he's dipping and weaving and gives his offensive lineman an opportunity to block. 64 Ed Newman, 67 Kuchenberg, the two guards. You see Nat Moore blocking on 57 Sanford. He dips in. 29 Clark goes to the inside. Newman blocks him back, cuts up and gets what he can. Patience. You got to have patience.
2nd and 9 at the 36. Tony Nathan comes in. He and Woody Bennett in the backfield. Little play action. Flag down. He was going to Duper, and Duper had a problem with Chris Williams, I believe, and there may have been pass interference call there. Illegal chuck.
The problem there, Charlie, is Duper runs one pattern if they're in a certain coverage. And if they're in a different coverage, he breaks it off and runs a different pattern. This is the problem when you've got young players. Duper, a second-year player. Marino, first-year.
Defense, number 29. Illegal contact. First down.
Called on Mario Clark.
Excuse me, they're going to make those mistakes. They're not going to be on the same page some of the time. The adjustments that they have to run, they're not going to be together all the time. They're going to make some mistakes, but they're also going to make some big plays.
The key becomes for the quarterback and the receivers to read it at the same time, make the same adjustment, mentally and physically. Overstreet, 49-yard line. 8 yards, 2nd down, 2. David Kilson with the tackle.
Look at the offensive line. Draw play. Marino gets him the ball as deeply as he can. Marv avoids the blocker. Almost dropped the ball on the handoff on the snap from center.
2nd and 2. Nathan. This will be close to the first down. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. We're in the 3rd quarter. Parker with the tackle for the Bills. Buffalo leading at 21-14. Buffalo went out in front 7-0, 14-0, then 14-7 at halftime. And Miami tied it 14-14 on the Marino to Duper 63-yard touchdown pass. And then the Bills came back for that 53-yard drive. Ferguson throwing his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon, and it's 21-14, and as you can see, just a bit shy of the first down. 3rd down about 6 or 7 inches. Foster is in as a tight end on the left side. down. Ben Williams will give him credit for the tackle, but he had a lot of help on that. They'll mark it just inside the 49-yard line, Bob.
Charlie, I was just going to say Nat Moore coming off the field. He was in for that short yardage play. He's had a neck problem during the ball game. Mark Clayton is in for him. Mark Duper is in for Duriel Harris. It's kind of strange to see a Dolphin offense without Duriel Harris and Nat Moore in the ball game.
Buffalo 49-yard line.
Reverse.
Mark Clayton. He's going to throw the pass. Duper at the 20. They won't catch him. Touchdown.
Oh!
Handoff, reverse, pass, score, Duper, number 2. His 4th of the year.
The Miami Dolphins kitty corps. Don Shula called this play a little reverse. Right into the football field, inside the other team's 50. Clayton puts it away like he's going to run, lofts it in the air to Duper. A rookie to a second-year player, the kitty corps of the Miami Dolphins coming through today.
With a dive. Going away, but as we do, let's just share together this touchdown. To kick off, Mike Mosley and Van Williams are playing hide and seek behind each other. They don't want Bonchaman to know which side they're breaking to. This one is scooped up by Mosley. To the 30, 35, 38-yard line. Another good return for the Buffalo Bills. Van Williams and Mike Mosley making Von Schaman decide which side he wanted to kick to. Robert Sowell with the tackle for the special team. Buffalo has the ball, 37-yard line. Bob?
Ferguson up to this point is 21 of 28 for 224 yards, 3 touchdowns. He still needs more points.
We have a 21-21 tie. Ferguson having a great game. He shows double tight end on the set, and again the Bills playing without Tony Hunter, who is out with that hamstring. He's going to throw from the set. And a comeback pattern at the 45. Is that Barnett? Yes, Buster Barnett in his 3rd year out of Jackson State. Has 8, it'll be 2nd down and 2. Ferguson throwing just under 61% coming into the ballgame. Way above that today.
You know, this is a type of a game that it's been cast in stone. You know what the script is. All right, we're going to go out and score points. Ferguson knows he's got to score points. The Dolphins have caught up to him. Let's go out and throw the ball and do the things we do best. Move it down and just get some more.
2 minutes left to go in the 3rd. Booker Moore. He may be shy of the 1st down. He needed a couple. In the AFC, starting today, 4 teams tied for first. Buffalo, Miami, the Jets, Baltimore. The Jets and Cleveland at Cleveland. Cleveland leading at 7-0 in the 4th. That touchdown came 19 seconds to go in the 1st half on a side pass. New England leading Baltimore at 7-0. Of course, that game at Baltimore starts at 2 o'clock Eastern time, so they're about an hour behind it.
So you had a look at Kay Stevenson doing one of his own signals. The quarterback was giving him the play. Stevenson was putting a little wrinkle on with one of his own signals.
3rd down 1. First down for Roosevelt League. He got 2. Give him 3 to the 49.
There's really not very much doubt on who's going to carry the ball for the Buffalo Bills in short yardage. Tough, hard-nosed runner is Roosevelt League's good player. Doesn't usually come up short on short yardage or goal line situations.
Buffalo at their own 49-yard line. 34 seconds and counting in the third quarter. Time remaining. Spit back. Little play action. Has a man cleared. Cribbs. 30. Out of bounds at the 26-yard line. 25 yards and a first down. Charles Bowser chased him out.
It's a play that the Dolphins have tried. It's a play action fake. Borchardt goes over and acts like it's going to be a run. Ferguson drops the ball over Bowser's head and Cribbs. Bowser has to cover him man to man. Of course, Bowser was faked out by the play action. There you go, right there by 56 Bowser. He's got to cover Cribbs. He thought it was a run. Good execution, good call.
They spotted at the 25-yard line, first down.
Ferguson threw that ball, Charlie, before Cribbs was even looking for it. He is really on today.
Cribbs right side. 18-yard line. Gain of 7. It will be second down and 3 as Lyle Blackwood makes the tackle. And as we take another look at Cribbs isolated, we can watch the clock count down the end of the third.
Poetry in motion. This man is not easy to bring down. He can lower his head when he has to. Good, tough runner.
So we are at the end of the third quarter. We are tied 21-21. We'll be right back after these messages. The humidity is 85.
Telling secrets in the huddle.
Showbiz going on at the sideline. Buffalo at the Miami just inside the 18-yard line. Second down and 3. Second and 3 here. Cribbs has to figure in either the run or the pass.
You know, this is the area, too, that we've seen in the past where Cribbs may take a running play and throw the ball either in this area or a little bit closer down to the goal line.
You saw he is the second all-time rusher behind O.J. Simpson. That's the good news. The bad news is he's more than 6,000 yards behind him. He pops loose, has the first down. Out of bounds, close to the 10-yard line.
Number 20, Joe Cribbs. Booker Moore firing into the line. This play was designed to go inside. All this extra yardage you're seeing right here is Joe Cribbs. 5 yards, 5 extra yards. Hustle, determination.
The ball just outside the 10-yard line. According to the chains on the far side, you can pick up a first down with about 4 inches before you go into the end zone. You've got to figure that in reality it's first and goal. Here's Roosevelt Lee. He may have gotten to the 9. Blackwood and Langford were there. See where the officials spot the ball. We'll call it the 9. And of course, well within field goal range for Joe Danella, who has missed one today from 27 yards out.
Yes, he did.
So it's within his range. That doesn't necessarily mean that he will make it.
So that's the kick it between the 2 bars.
That's true. That does help. Second down. Defense is waiting for the crowd to quiet down. Ferguson throws. Pass is complete and out of bounds. At the 5-yard line is Frank Lewis. So it'll be third down and 5.
Gain of 5 yards.
Judson was the defender.
There's a good shot of what you're seeing coming right at you. Ferguson rolling out. The inside receiver breaks to the outside. Lewis. Good throw.
Lewis having a good ball game.
He's having another good ball game against the Miami Dolphins.
In reality, it's closer to the 4-yard line. Third down. You throw here. If you don't score, you go for the field goal. Waiting, firing. on the drive.
You know, Charlie, I can't say enough about that man right there and Joe Ferguson. Great game. They're the entire offense. Fergie setting up good protection again. Waits until he clears A.J. Dewey. Throws it high and away from him. Cripps says, that's all right, I can catch it. Just two great ball players having great days against the Dolphins.
Danilo to attempt the point after. And it is good. And Buffalo regains the lead. Buffalo 28, Miami 21. Ferguson to Chris. Ferguson's 4th touchdown pass of the game. This game is being brought to you by Chrysler Plymouth. Quality product from the new Chrysler technology. By Sylvania Superset Color TV and the complete line of Sylvania home entertainment products. And by Ace. Ace is a place with a helpful 28, Miami 21, 13-18 left to go in the ball game. Danilo kicking off. Walker, the deep back, takes it at the goal line. 15, 20, out of bounds, 22-yard line. 22 yards on the return. Darryl Talley was there for the Buffalo Bills. Frank Lewis has 5 receptions for 61 yards in the ball game. Ferguson throwing 4 touchdown passes. The 3rd game that he has thrown for 4 touchdowns. 1 game he has thrown for 5. That is his personal best. And there's a look at the drive.
We got another quarter to play, Charlie. He may get 5 or 6.
That's a nice feeling of your quarterback.
Oh, yeah. You want to get in there. You're hot. You got the tempo. Let me back out on that field.
Miami from their own 23-yard line. Reno throwing to Overstreet. A little behind him. Had to turn around and he missed it.
Trying to get David Overstreet, a fast halfback on number 22, Steve Freeman. Steve has seen that a few times over the years, though. They'll put both wide receivers and both corners over and try to isolate him out there one-on-one. But he's a heady ball player. Smart, didn't have the great speed, but he gets it done with intelligence and preparation.
And let's point out again that Buffalo's last win over Miami here in the Orange Bowl was in 1966, 29-0. That was the Dolphins' first year. In 68, there was a 14-14 tie. And since then, Miami has won every game these two teams have played here. Lots of time. Pass is complete. Has to be with all that time to Tony Nathan. Close to the first down at the 32-yard line. Barker with the tackle.
Here's a good shot of the defensive secondary. Watch the 2 linebackers in the center of your screen on either side of the official. One is blitzing, the other's dropping straight back. Linebackers dropping straight back. Marino sees Nathan in between them, drills him, tries to get the ball there as quickly as he can so he can head upfield.
3rd down and 1, 32-yard line. Check of the scoreboard, getting close on that ball game. Washington continuing to lead in the 3rd over St. Louis. Tony Nathan, first down, 43-yard line, gain of 11. Steve Freeman with the tackle. That was 3rd and 1. We still have some more scores to update. Denver, Houston. So the Broncos may become competitive. Minnesota, Chicago. That one's getting a bit closer. Detroit continues to lead Green Bay. How many points did Green Bay score last week?
56, wasn't it? 49 in the first half. They got to be a strange ball club. They lost to the Giants, won big, and then they're playing poorly again today.
Miami at their own 43-yard line, trailing 28-21. 11 and a half minutes left to go. Flags down. We'll have encroachment moving across the neutral zone, making contact prior to the ball being snapped, and it was you, number 76, Fred Smerlas. This is your life. Encroachment.
And it's Dwight Stevenson, 57, who gets the headache.
That's right. What happens in that? What causes it? What causes it?
Nose tackle. Fred Smerlas in that instance may have thought the ball was going to be snapped a little bit sooner. Obviously did. The cadence of the quarterback can draw it. Maybe an offensive guard will flick his hand to make him think that the ball is going to be snapped.
Defense, encroachment, contact before the snap.
Now, you were an expert at causing this to happen.
It had to be the cadence, the inflection in the voice of the quarterback, or the timing between the huts to pull him off sides. And surprisingly, you get the nose tackle a lot because he's the closest to your voice.
First down 5. Cutting behind the defender, the pass is complete to Mark Clayton. There was good coverage by Kilson, and then Clayton just outmaneuvered him when the ball was in the air.
What a great play by Mark Clayton, a rookie out of the University of Louisville. He was an 8th-round draft choice. Marino throwing the long ball very well. Kilson never sees it. Clayton trying to fight back inside, sees the ball all the way, comes in, makes a big play. You see Mark Clayton, Kilson running straight downfield, has good coverage on him, but doesn't see the ball. Clayton sees the ball inside, slows down, gets inside, makes the play. It's a big play for the Dolphins and Mark Clayton.
To the 13-yard line. Tony Nathan may have the first down. Chris Keating with the tackle. It'll be first and goal to go.
Watch the left of your screen. We'll see if a flanker can come in and block on the wide receiver. No, we don't see it. But that was just good hard running by the Miami Dolphins. A flanker came down and blocked on one of the inside linebackers to make that play work.
Kuchenberg, Newman, and Bennett with the key block. The Jet game is now tied. It is Cleveland 7 to Jet 7. A Richard Todd touchdown pass of 15 yards. We could be tied here in just a moment. Drops the snap, picks it up. Ben Williams falling on Dan Marino. It'll be second down, goal to go. Question, he tried to pick it up. Shouldn't he just fall on it?
Sure, certainly should. That's one of the things he's learning here today. You still have to go through and see what the problem was. Stevenson turning to his right, Marino turning to his right. Both of them are turning away from each other. That's happened to me several times, Charlie. When you're turning that way, the center's going one way and you're reversing, you got to make sure you stay in there long enough to get the ball.
Loss of a yard to the 3, second down, goal to go. Another miscue. The ball is loose. Recovered by Miami. Did Marino get it again? Or is it Woody Bennett?
Same type of problem, Charlie. When you get down in here, everything is more compacted. The center, watch Dwight Stevenson. Turn into block. Ball comes right up through his hands that time. Newman hits the ball. Williams has got a good shot at it, misses it. Bennett must have fallen on it, Woody Bennett.
7-yard line. So it was first down, goal to go at the 2, now third down, goal to go at the 7.
Critical area. You don't need any mistakes down in this area, especially on exchanges from the quarterback, center quarterback.
From the shotgun, Bennett had lined up in the wrong spot, had to move. Reno now scrambling. Throws it back over the middle. It is caught at the 1-yard line. There's a flag down, I believe, at the goal line. Or is that not a flag?
It is a flag, yes.
Is it a flag? Yes, it is. I don't know. It's yellow. And it's at the goal line.
The last 3 plays, Charlie, here.
Defense, number 27, holding.
Chris Williams on the
First down.
That's an automatic first down.
The last 3 plays will point out what a rookie quarterback can do for you. 2 drop snaps, and then here he makes a big play, scramble around. You see Chris Williams down here. Marino scrambling around, trying to make something happen, makes a big play, averts a loss.
I believe that was Duper that, yes, with a diving reception. And the flag gives you the first down. So it's first down, goal to go at the 1-yard line.
Now, I believe the ball will not be on the 1-yard line. That's where the play ended. But if they call holding, it should be at the 2. I've known. Should be about 3.5. They should split the distance to the 7.
Accepted. Third down.
Oh, no, it's not a defensive hold. Shula's saying it says should be first down. And it should be a first down.
Yes.
But again, see, it shouldn't be at the 1, about 2.5 or 3.
So it's first down, goal on the 2.
One of the reasons why they accepted the penalty, they would have been closer with the play, but they would have been 4th down. Now they get the penalty. They're a little further away, but they get 4 downs to get it in.
New England, Baltimore, 7-7.